The thing that concerns me most from the conversations I'm having right now is actually the gap between awareness and action. Most of the organizations I speak to know that, for example, fraud is evolving faster than their defenses. I mean, they've known for a while, but there's a real difference between knowing something needs to change and actually changing it. And that gap is where the risk sits right now. When organizations come to us about identity verification, the conversation almost always starts in the same place. They want a compliance solution that gives them the best possible conversion rate at onboarding. And that's a perfectly reasonable starting point. But what I've learned over time is that the real need is usually quite different from what they walk in with. The world around that onboarding moment has changed, which is why a solution that was right 3 years ago may not be right for what they're dealing with today. What's changed is really two things happening at the same time, which is what makes it so difficult. Fraud is evolving at a speed that most organizations are only beginning to appreciate. With generative AI, the sophistication of attacks has moved to a completely different level. But alongside that, the regulatory landscape is shifting as well. And the complexity of what those changes actually mean is being underestimated. The thing I keep coming back to in these conversations, there isn't only one truth when it comes to your customers. Someone who has been your client for 5 years is fundamentally different from someone who signed up yesterday. If your systems can't tell the difference, this means you'll be creating risk on one side and friction on the other. Some of the best conversations I have involve a genuine shift in how organizations think about the whole identity verification relationship. They've stopped treating it as a single checkpoint at the beginning. Instead, they're thinking about trust as something continuous, something that runs through the entire life cycle of that customer. That's the move from know your customer to trust your customer. It means being flexible enough to respond differently depending on what the signals are telling you. Smooth and fast when the risk is low, but with the ability to step in the moment something doesn't look right. The organizations building this kind of flexibility now are the ones whose customers will trust them most, because they're getting both things right at the same time instead of sacrificing one for the other. The organizations that choose to act now rather than react later are the ones their customers will still trust a year from now. That's what trust your customer means in practice.